Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be going over Sun in the 9th house. So this video is for you if you have this particular placement. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. This video might also resonate for individuals who have Leo occupying their 9th house. So the Sun in our natal charts deals with our ego. It's our sense of self. It's our identity. It is what we might take a sense of pride in. It is the area where we might be looking for that applause, for that admiration from other individuals, for that validation. Sometimes with the Sun, I've heard that it is who we think we are. Other times I've heard with the Sun, it is who we are growing into becoming. The Sun can deal with the father as well, or that dominant masculine role in your life. The 9th house in our natal charts deals with the higher mind, the higher learning, academia, learning a lot of information, and then eventually probably coming back to teach it. It's that 9th house energy. You're probably going to go off, learn something, and then come back teach. It deals with belief systems, philosophies, theology, spirituality. A lot of the time with that 9th house from a young age, you guys may have found yourselves asking yourselves, what is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? What is the purpose of life? All of these deep existential questions that all pertain to that 9th house. The 9th house can also deal with foreign lands and travel. If you guys aren't able to travel, sometimes it's people from abroad who come to you. You guys might be very interested in these individuals, learning about different cultures, about different languages, and just in general, how different people live around the world. So when you guys have your Sun in the 9th house, the Sun being your ego, your identity, you guys are creating a lot of your identity through all of these things, through your belief systems, through the philosophies you guys have created. But the thing is, the 9th house is super open-minded. So in the earlier part of your lives, you guys may have maybe explored a lot of different, let's say, religions, or even philosophies, or even belief systems. And then eventually you guys have come to your own belief system. And now your whole identity is revolving around this belief system. Now the thing is like with this energy, because it does tend to research and explore and create that belief system for themselves, when you guys do believe it, you guys really believe it. So the thing is, this energy can sometimes go into the shadow aspect of that 9th house, where it's like you guys could be overly preachy or trying to convince everybody of the belief system you guys have created, because to you guys, it is the Sun energy that's in here. So your whole ego and your identity is created through this belief system. So just something to keep in mind. It's always nice to spread information and teach people things. You guys just want to keep in mind that you don't go into that overly preachy energy where you're really preaching all of this information and belief systems that you guys have learned. Now, because this is the ego as well, and the identity, and the area where you guys might be looking for that validation or the applause, and maybe when you guys do create this new belief system and you guys are sharing it with individuals, you guys are looking for that validation from the crowd to basically resonate with your belief systems, or think that you guys are so intelligent for discovering this new piece of information. This energy, depending on the rest of the natal chart, it could really go into like the traditional route of learning and education. So you guys might go through the whole schooling and education system. Now this is all going to be contingent upon the sign in here and the aspects and everything else that is really going on in your natal charts. But let's say you guys do pick, let's say, one subject that you guys are super passionate about. You guys go off and learn it. You guys get your master's, you guys get your PhD, and then eventually you guys come back and teach it. This is the whole energy here. It really is the teacher after you guys have spent some time learning something, maybe some sort of subject. So if it is the traditional way, maybe you guys become a professor, or maybe you guys become, let's say, like a teaching assistant, something of the sort where you guys are sharing the wisdom and the information you guys have learned. Now, alternatively, depending on the energies in the natal chart, you guys can take a more non-traditional route to getting all this information. Maybe you guys go on a bunch of adventures. Maybe you guys kind of do the whole eat, pray, love thing where you guys are going around. Maybe you're traveling and you guys are gathering information in this way. Maybe you guys like to read a lot. Maybe you guys learn a lot of information from different theological texts or just like philosophies. And from all of this, you guys gather the information and then you guys come back and teach it. Or it could even be someone who gets a lot of certifications. For example, let's say you guys are interested in being a dance instructor, and then a yoga instructor, and then a personal trainer, and then maybe a cook, for example. Like, it could be a whole bunch of different things, but that's the whole thing with this energy. It basically is going off learning something, and then it thinks it's the best thing ever, and then it comes back and teaches that exact thing. Now, because the Sun does deal with the father, a lot of the time, maybe your belief systems were inherited from the father, or it could be the opposite. Because the thing is, we do live on a plane of duality at the end of the day, so maybe it was a positive experience and you received a lot of your belief systems from the father, or maybe you guys are rebelling, let's say, against the father, or maybe there was no belief system and that was kind of what propelled you guys to go off and learn these belief systems and learn all of these wonderful things. Now, another thing too with the 9th house too, and just in general with the Sun, something that I've been thinking about with this energy overall is unconsciously you could be doing these things to receive the attention or the applause from the father or that dominant masculine role in your life, and then in turn other masculine figures in your life in general. So for example, maybe you guys go go off on this whole expedition to learn all of these things, and you come back and teach it. Maybe you guys become, let's say, like a motivational speaker, for example, but unconsciously you guys might be trying to get that approval or admiration or just adoration from the father himself, and then maybe other people in your life that you look at in this particular lens, maybe other masculines in your life. It could be this as well. Maybe it's even the same thing. Let's say you guys go off and get a bunch of certifications, or even just like the traditional route of getting all the schooling and education, maybe unconsciously, whether it's like a positive thing or whether it's like, I'm going to prove this person wrong. A lot of the time it does tend to be unconscious, especially with these energies in our natal chart. Now, I'm not a psychologist or anything of that sort. It's just things that I've been reflecting on and just observing with the sun, because the sun is that Leo energy, and Leo is looking for approval and praise, and the sun can deal with the father. So because Leo is looking for that approval, it does tend to be from others, but because the sun does deal with the father, usually that is where it's stemming from. I mean, most things in everyone's lives do stem from the original two caregivers in general. So the sun is the father, and absolutely could be this, but in general, throughout your life or lives, what could be taking place is like you guys want to be on that stage because of Leo energy, and you guys are sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your wisdom, you guys really want to be known and applauded for everything that you guys are sharing, is really what it is. Now, which avenue you guys take is going to be different for different people, is really what that is. It depends on the rest of the energies in your natal chart. A lot of the time, the ninth house also definitely believes in something larger than life, larger than themselves. Maybe it's going to be God, the divine, the creator, source, whatever term you guys want to use. You guys might feel like you're being led by something higher than yourself. And the thing is, this can go in the positive direction or it can go into the shadow direction. Again, it is a plane of duality. So which direction it goes in always depends on the person and their experiences. But sometimes it can be very divine, where it's like you guys might be super connected in this way. You guys have had a certain amount of life experience that has kind of led you in this direction to believe in something larger than life, something that is guiding you guys, and you guys kind of have your faith in this particular thing. Or it could be kind of like a blind faith sometimes. Sometimes this energy can go into hedonism, for example, where it's like, I'm being led, but it's like, it's kind of going into like a hedonistic type of direction, or it's like, it's very much living for the moment, or it's like dropping a lot of people because it's like, these people don't serve me anymore, or it's burning a lot of bridges because it's like, again, I'm being led, I'm going to this place and I'm going here and then I'm going there. So it could go into either of these two directions. The balanced version of this energy is really having that faith in something larger than life, something larger than yourselves, really turning to this. And a lot of the time when it does come to having that faith in something that is larger than yourselves and larger than life, it usually is through experience. Like, some people can understand these texts and this information through an intellectual lens, but a lot of the time with this energy, it's like through experience, you guys have strengthened your faith in something larger than yourselves. So it's really this, like the ninth house is looking for this energy. They're looking for something that is larger than life, something that is larger than the human experience. It's like there's a meaning to everything. What is the purpose here? Going back to that original question that you guys may have asked yourselves from a young age, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? Why am I here? What is my purpose? All of these questions. And I do feel like that is the root energy in terms of the sun in the ninth house of what kind of propels you guys to go on these adventures or expeditions or go through the schooling and the education, like whichever route you guys take. It's because you guys are looking for something larger than life. You guys are looking for that connection to God, to source, the creator, whichever term you guys want to use. And ultimately, in the end, you guys do create some form of belief system. Usually it is your own, and usually it is going to be through some form of experience, some form of life experience, something that you guys have experienced throughout your lives that kind of led you guys in this direction. And you guys do get to this answer that you guys were seeking all along. And at that point, it's probably when you guys are going to teach others. Now, once again, going back to that preachy energy, because the sun is the ego, you guys may have attached a lot of your ego and your identity to this particular belief system or any of these things that I may have mentioned in this video. You guys might attach a lot of your identity to this. This is why they probably say the sun is who we think we are, because the thing is, sometimes with the ego, it's like if we do attach it on things that are outside of ourselves, if someone does come through and challenge those beliefs, it's basically going to hit you guys in the solar plexus, which is like, it's going to threaten the identity. And in that case, when that tends to happen, you guys might go into defense, for example, to defend, let's say, your beliefs and your belief systems and your views. Obviously, that's not going to be for everybody. Everyone's going to have a different experience, but that is also something that can take place. But overall, you guys are probably going to find yourselves drawn and interested in these types of careers, maybe where you guys are teaching something, a professor, maybe even politics for the Sagittarius energy as well, maybe some sort of like religious teacher or instructor, or just like a religious practitioner or a spiritual practitioner, maybe even like a motivational speaker or just like a guru of some sort, although I do feel like we're slowly moving away from the age of the guru. But in general, it's going to be something of this sort, like an energy where you guys are teaching people something. It could be an actual teacher, but it depends. It really depends on the rest of the energies in your natal chart. It could even be a philosopher, for example, anything of this sort. It's like the thing is, you guys have gathered some sort of information and knowledge. The way and the avenue you guys go about sharing this knowledge and spreading the information is going to really depend on you guys and the rest of the energies in your natal chart. But this is the overall idea here. So it's this for this energy, and the more that you guys kind of get that applause, or just like the people that are even listening, it doesn't even have to be an applause. It can just be people who are listening to what it is that you guys have to say. You guys are going to get that satisfaction within, is really what that is, because that is what this energy is ultimately seeking. So I'm going to wrap up this video here on Sun in the 9th house. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.